Alright, legends, welcome along to Here's Rodder's Reviews. Now, I'm continuing my little journey here of just looking up for stuff to watch on Amazon Prime, Netflix, whatever it is, something that just hits me as I'm flicking through, catches my eye. And I came across this little movie called Titanic Rises, but I've found a couple of different names for it. It also seems to be known as Titanic 666. And I decided I'll take a look at it. Just you'll see it in the thumbnail here on the YouTube video version of this, and it shows the Titanic in the background, like a ghostly figure of the Titanic captain, and it really jumped out at me. And I thought I would give it a go, but I was kind of thinking at the same time going into this here, being from Northern Ireland, and whenever I was a child, there was like a big anniversary of the actual real Titanic, and I remember early in my school days being taken to the museum in Belfast and seeing stuff from the ship and whatnot. We heard the stories about it. They showed us a night to remember and class, all that sort of stuff, and just knowing that the ship was real and it was an actual real tragedy. I went into this movie thinking to myself, okay, where is the line in good taste here? Because it's just one of these things where you're thinking to yourself, right, is this just the sort of thing that you want to be messing with in a movie? But I gave it a go anyway, and it is billed as a supernatural horror. It's directed by Nick Lyon, produced by the Asylum. It's a sequel to Titanic 2, which I actually did not watch at this point, just for that reason, thinking to myself, okay, where's the line in good taste here? But I give this one a go anyway. Stars Jamie Barber, Keisha Sharp. Yeah, it was released in April 15th, 2022. Actually on the 100, was that says here, I'm just looking at notes that I looked up online before I started this. It was released on Tubi in the United States on April 15th, 2022, on the 110th anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic. And according to this here, the film received generally unfavourable reviews, and users on social media noted the film's similarity to Titanic in 1997. Of course it's going to be similar, I'm not going to jump in that, I'm not going to jump into that argument. Of course, you're making a film about the Titanic, there's going to be a sinking of the ship somewhere along the line. But in this version, there is, on the anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic, this ship in the movie, called the Titanic 3, they're taking their maiden voyage to the actual wreckage of the original ship. And yes, it's a brand new state-of-the-art liner as far as like the ship is concerned, as far as like bridge controls and whatnot goes. It's all computerized, up to date and whatnot, but aesthetically the outside of the ship looks exactly like the original Titanic. So they set off on this journey to the crash site. Keisha Sharp is the captain on it. Jamie Barber plays Professor Hal Cochrane, who is like an archaeologist type, and he's got all these relics from the original Titanic to be shown on the cruise as they're heading out there. But he's also trying to make a bit of money with it, and yes, he's trying to sell this stuff off to the highest bidder as well. There's another guy in here who is like the head of security on the Titanic 3, but it turns out he's actually working with Hal Cochrane, and they're going to split the money that they make on board. There's a stowaway gets on the ship at the beginning of it, played by Lydia Hurst, who you find out she is actually the great granddaughter of the original captain from the actual Titanic. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, right, this is definitely starting to cross that line of good taste here and whatnot. But She uses some sort of black magic before the ship reaches the crash site of the Titanic, and pretty much brings the spirits of the original crew and victims back from the dead to take revenge on this new Titanic and the people on board it for just been so disrespectful to their memories. Now, the film, from that perspective, it does go down that line. It's like, okay, this is bad taste. We're going to kick your ass for it. But at the end of the day, even though these are CGI characters and whatnot, and actors playing ghosts and whatnot, it still doesn't forgive it for the fact that it's actually based upon real people. This captain, the original captain of the Titanic, saved as many people as he could, went down with the ship, and in this one here, he's like the head of the. In this movie, this version of this guy is like this ghostly, demon-like sort of leader of these ghosts, and they're there to just take flat-out revenge against everybody on the ship. To cut a long story short, too late, you might say, they do indeed do that. Even as the granddaughter, played by Lydia Hurst, doesn't get out of it unscathed. She actually gets possessed by the spirit of the original Titanic captain, and he pretty much takes out the new Titanic, the Titanic 3, puts it in a collision course of an ice cube. An ice cube. Yes, an iceberg. He puts the ship in a collision course, rips the nose out of the hull, and of course the ship sinks by the end of the movie and everybody's lost. But Lydia Hurst's character, the great granddaughter of this captain that used the black magic, she says to the Professor Hal Cochrane, who was responsible for getting the relics from the original Titanic, your curse is going to be that you're going to be the only one to survive this, more or less. So he does, and at the end of the movie, he's in this little life raft on his own in the middle of the ocean. But then this hand comes up, gives you you think it's going to be one of those final jump scares, and it's actually Keisha Sharp's character, Captain Rhodes. She's also survived, and she gets on the life raft with them, and they're having like a back and forth moment at the end of the movie. But turns out at the end, Cochrane actually does die, and then in this movie you don't just die and stay dead, you die and you come back as one of the ghosts that's taking revenge on this new Titanic. So of course the final jump scare in the movie is him coming back as this ghost to take the captain, and cut the credits at the end of the movie. CGI in this here, like I've been looking up online here for a few other reviews on it, and people have been giving it F for the visual effects not been great. You're not going to get real hardcore Hollywood effects, especially from the Asylum. Their movies are quite tongue-in-cheek most of the time, but the visual effects, now I have to say, on this movie, they're not great, but they aren't bad either. They really did a good job in recreating, the opening of the movie actually shows the original Titanic going down, and you actually see one of the original people that died there actually turning into one of these ghosts. So it's like, even though this girl uses black magic to kick-start the whole thing in this movie, it's something that's previously happened. So you open the movie with the original sinking, a jump scare, and the opening credits, actually you see the ship going down on the surface, and all the credits follow the ship to the bottom of the ocean and hitting the ocean bed and coming to rest, and you see the visual that we would all know from the photographs of the original wreck. But again, for me, I just don't know where that line "good taste" was at, because I can't recall the name of the song that the band played as the ship was going down. I've seen it in a few movies and whatnot. You know the song I'm talking about. But in this movie, whenever one of the first ghost attacks happens, it's actually one of the band members turns up, and he's got a violin and he starts playing the song in the background. that does put a chill for you, but for maybe the wrong reasons. But yes, the only other thing that I would say in this one here is it takes a bit of a jab at the social media culture of today. Of course, we have got Mia Stone, played by Anna Lynn McCord in this movie. She is a social media celebrity who's came on the cruise to vlog the whole situation and send it out to her followers and whatnot, and YouTube videos and live streams and whatnot. So they do take a very hard dig at the whole mentality of that. I want to say, I'm trying to think how to put this here because, I'm actually doing this shit myself. So, yes, she is one of these people that has got their online persona, and it's like that over the top, kind of clueless, sort of teenagery sort of vibe that she has. But whenever she's not got the camera on, she's somebody completely different, but a very likable character too. But she gets taken out of the movie, in my opinion, far too early. But you know what's definitely, if you want to check it out, take a go at it. I don't know when you look it up what you're going to find it under. Of course, as I said, on Amazon Prime here in the UK, I found it as Titanic Rises. When I looked up some notes online here, it came up as Titanic 666, and it's also known as Titanic 3. So, under those titles, you'll get the movie. But for me, as far as watchability goes, I think if the notion takes me, I could quite easily go back and check this one out again. But the line between good taste is, I don't know, it's like you make your own judgment on it. For me, when it comes to Titanic, even though I don't have any personal, like there's none of my family was involved in the original disaster as far as I know, but for a ship, famous ship that was built, a 45-minute drive for where I am actually sitting at right now, there's just something about that ship. You think to yourself, you just kind of respect it and the memories of the people that was on board the ship and the people that actually suffered. So when I was watching this movie, I'm just thinking to myself, what would descendants of anybody that was involved with the Titanic think of this movie? Yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Whatever you're doing, I hope you're doing it safely. And yes, I'll talk to you in the next one.